Today we are going to show how to make detailed Swagger documentation for the custom web API. Here is an overview of the final result that we will demo in detail later. The first step is to install the Swashbuckle.AspNetCore packages into the project, including the package for JSON support. Let's set up and configure our developer Swagger documentation. You can copy and paste the code from the example or just follow along and type. Microsoft has referenced documentation on how to get started and utilize Swashbuckle for ASP.NET Core. Swagger follows the OpenAPI standards. There are builder methods that allow you to configure the detailed description and version that we saw in the summary overview. Here you can also add a contact and custom license. This is how we tell Swagger to utilize the XML comments in our code. Here is an example of an XML code comment for an API method. This is how it looks in our Swagger documentation UI display. There is one more step to do for this feature to work. In the project properties, we must specify that XML comments be exported to a documentation file and specify the file name. The next step is to add custom operational identifiers. These are descriptive API method names that are needed for reference and to build clients. Here is an example of a custom operational identifier in our JSON Swagger reference. When we build a client for the demo, we reference this file. Here is an example of our demo HTTP client utilizing the API operational identifier. The final step for configuring the Swagger generator is to add support for JSON patch. The last step is to configure Swagger to show its UI, but only if we are running in development, not production. You will need to add a custom environment name and value to the launch profile. The name and values must be spelled as shown. This step is critical to launch the Swagger UI. Developers run their applications locally to generate Swagger documentation and test their API work. Here is the final result and demo of our Swagger configuration. Notice that we configured to only accept JSON, and the Swagger documentation reflects all our configurations. This video is part of a series that discusses a simple demo web API. See the links in the description for the source code and other videos.